Let's boogie.
All right. ET's time. Well, just to start off, everyone give me a description of your character, starting with Wayne, because you're the top of my screen.
Oh no, I'm so unprepared. So Wayne is male human. He's got hella 5 o'clock shadow going on. He's got a scar down his left eye from a fight he got in. He usually has like a cigarette or like a toothpick or a piece of hay or something in his mouth. Um, and on his knuckles, they're not tattooed in, but they're more like carved like with a knife, are the words love and hate, or not love and hate, good and evil. Sorry, wrong ones. Um, and those like
Those
the
aren't his
most like
penis.
no. Yeah, he's got a tattoo on his nuts, love and hate.
Yeah.
um,
And whichever
but
one hangs lower, that's where he's going.
Determine his mood for the day.
He's always got a coin on him too. He's got a coin usually. If he's not fidgeting with in his hand, he's got it somewhere on him. He looks very like as the most like clothing description you can do for like a basic John Wayne cowboy kind of look, except he's a bit scrawnier.
I actually like to imagine Sheriff Woody.
Okay, yeah, Sheriff Woody, but he's seen some things. I could go with that. You know what? I could do that. I could do that. Sheriff Woody, but he's seen some things. I'll take it.
I love it. All right. Next up, Law.
Oh no. Law is he's a classic looking warforged, smooth dome boy. He's got interwoven leather metal wood plates across his body. He is I mean, he's a robot, no genitals, but he does technically sort of roam around naked until last session when he picked up a holster as well as a duster for a gun and to keep some dust out of his joints because he discovered that was a fucking problem. But other than that, he's just a smooth, steely boy with, a normal hinge jaw. And then it's just he's got telescopic eyes that allow him to zoom in and zoom out on whatever he's looking at. And then his wrists have a series, or specifically his forearms have a series of tools within them that he can access when he needs. Specifically, his right forearm has a palm pistol that he can whip out and bow, bow, bow. Well, actually, it's more bow because it's one bullet. But yeah, you're your classic warforged boy.
When it comes out of your forearm, does it like go like out of the forearm like into your hand, or is it like it pops out and you just like kind of like is it still attached to you the entire time?
Yeah, it is
Okay.
attached. It attaches to me the entire time.
Gotcha.
But it does sort of like shoot forward. It just doesn't leave the arm. It's not
Gotcha.
like a separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Sweet. All right. And Shunsui.
He is a spring a drowsy, Eldrin, not a drowsy, Eldrin. So he has a more like teal, sage kind of skin tone, pointy ears. He's the normal size. He's like 5'6", 5'7" on a good day. Not just an average build kind of guy. He likes to spend his time watching clouds and laying on the grass. He wears a straw hat, and underneath, he has his like leather armor and other studs for his armor. On top of that, he wears a pink kimono that is decorated with sakura blossoms. And he wears two katana, a katana and a watasaki on his left hip. The katana is probably the length of a normal longsword, and the watasaki is the length of a short sword. And you guys have not really seen him move into his right hip yet. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we just hop into it here, I believe we last left off with everybody being in the Burly Cactus Saloon. Spirits were very high. The harvest has been going really well. It began the day before, or I guess early that morning. A lot of the farmers are here in the midday, red-cheeked, and already they've drinking quite a bit. So the place is popping off. You all have been invited to the mayor's house for dinner. You still have about half the day to do whatever you like. Wayne, at some point, you make your way over to the workshop, the John's workshop, and you buy a small pack of rifle ammunition.
Thank you.
But aside from that, it's up to you all what you'd like to do.
I want to go take a look at all the faces on there, see if I recognize any of them.
Absolutely. Well, you make your way over. Hanley sees you, gives you a nod, and says, what can I do for you?
Hey, Sheriff, I'm just taking a peek at the board and see who's needs to be wrangled in, see if I recognize anyone, if I can wrangle them and get some questions answered about some things I need to figure out.
Of course. Take a look. So all three of you walk in, and you see this. There are currently 3 people up there. The first one is Slippery Sean, spelled S-E-A-N. It's a picture of a goblin with a cowboy hat, cigar in his mouth, and he's just got the biggest shit-eating grin on his face that you've ever seen. He's wanted on counts of cattle rustling, horse thievery, running multiple illegal gambling rings in some of the border towns, and just also on there it just says for being a bastard. That's another one up there. And his reward alive is 50 gold pieces.
Alive is 50 gold?
Yep.
What about dead?
30 gold.
I gotta know just in case. Alright. Slippery Sean.
Second one is Weeping Widow. It is literally a giant spider with a very small derby hat and monocle.
Oh my god, I love it. I'm putting down big ass spider for the note.
Yep. Also for cattle rustling, what else did I have here? Kidnap and murder.
Murder.
And so that one is 60 gold pieces, dead or alive.
Okay.
And then
The last fella.
The first 2, it says that they'll take them here or at most of the other border town prisons if you want to take him in. This one specifically, the only place that will take him is Bustown, and it is Charles Backbreaker Buchanan, your friend from the saloon.
Yeah, I figured.
Law sees that one and goes, that gentleman is wanted. We should apprehend him.
You said Bustown?
Yeah.
Law, I know you want to I know you want to apprehend him. We gotta use him for a little bit, for me to take care of some business. As soon as it's figured out, Law, as soon as it's done, we can take him in. I swear to you on my life, the second I figured out my situation, we can take Backbreaker in without hesitation. I promise you that. And I put my hand out to Law.
Law just sort of looks at it and looks back at you and goes, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't want to get into it right now, but I need to use him for information. You know, like an informant kind of thing.
Are you related to the gang that he might be in?
No, but the gang he's a part of, I'm trying to take one of their leaders down.
I understand. You are attempting to make him an informant, as you said, so that you might be undercover.
Yes, exactly.
I understand. This is a good plan.
So are we good? As soon as I get the guy I need to get, Law, we'll take him in.
Of course. Law does not shake your hand. Law just turns back to the posters.
All right. So, yep, there are those 3 posters.
What's the bounty on Backbreaker? I'm trying to figure out.
Bounty on Backbreaker is 80 gold pieces.
I'm trying to figure out if I should take it down or not, so no one else can see it.
That's fair. While you're looking at it, you also see that there is a 4th one. However, there's no picture associated with it, and it just says Murph, gang leader of Murph's Boys.
Yeah.
Wanted on many accounts, but no one has seen him. Backbreaker is listed as a member of Murph's Boys as well. The other two are not listed as having any affiliations.
Does
Law reaches up and grabs the goblin one and sort of goes, "Perhaps this is a good place to start."
I think you're right, Law. Well, if we can get a lead on where he's at, we can go track him down tomorrow after supper.
Is there a last known location on the
Oh yeah, good point.
on that poster there, boss?
Yes, this is last known location. Seen camped outside Ghost Town.
Outside Ghost Town.
Do we happen to know how far away that is?
If you ask Sheriff Hanley, he says Ghost Town is about a day's ride. You wouldn't be able to make it there and back in a single day, even if you left in the morning. So it'd be at least one day at camping, roughing it.
Understood. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Absolutely. I saw you boys looking at Backbreaker Buchanan. If you could, don't take him while he's in town. We got enough trouble with Murph's Boys. Don't want to... let's say right now they've been pretty friendly at the old saloon. Haven't caused too much trouble. Like to keep it that way.
Right. No, yeah, I wouldn't think about taking them in while they're in town. Doesn't seem safe.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, Sheriff. Anything you need done lately, or you all right, other than these four up here?
If you could bring any one of those in, that'd be fantastic. But not much news here. We got, horse thief. Well, 2 horse thieves now. This is the most exciting, really the most amount of prisoners we've had in quite a while. Usually pretty quiet around here.
How ironic.
Truly.
Wayne is gonna thank the sheriff for letting him know where Ghost Town's at, and Wayne's gonna go kind of just wander around town until time to meet with the mayor.
For sure. Absolutely. Unless there's anything else y'all specifically want to do, we can do a little time jump here.
So, after we do the wanted posters, since we want to take a nice stroll around town, just really taking the people so he understand who lives here and who is and what they do normally, like who's the farmers, who's just workers, stuff like that.
For sure. Go ahead and give me a flat charisma check just to kind of see how you do for these couple hours that you're walking around introducing yourself.
Haha. Oh, actually, that's a 16.
Nice.
I have a +0 in charisma.
So you begin making your way around town. You do draw quite a few strange looks, what with your colorful kimono as well as your green skin. But you have a very gentle way about you. Pretty nice guy, and people seem to pick up on that energy fairly quickly. You meet quite a few of the farmers in town. Their spirits are very high. A lot of them have been drinking, so a lot of them are leaving or coming into the tavern. You say hey to quite a few of them, and you get a good idea for who's a farmer.
What is the main harvest here?
Seems to be some kind of wheat, some kind of grain.
Wheat. Okay. I bow to everyone that after I'm done talking to them.
Absolutely.
Special desert rice.
Yes. One of them looks at you, says, did you drop something?
Oh, no. It's a way of saying thank you in my culture.
Oh.
It's just being polite.
Well, mighty kind of you. Keeps on walking. Aside from that, in the town, there's the John's workshop. There's Dr. Victoria's very long named shop that I won't say the entirety of because I don't have it memorized. You meet Dr. Victoria. She seems nice, kind of out there.
She's also the doctor in town, right?
Yeah. She seems to be a cross between like a shopkeeper, an alchemist, and some sort of like witch doctor.
What is her race?
She is a human.
Human? Okay. mostly all humans here?
Yeah, the majority. There's a couple of odd races here and there.
Cool. Anything else I pick up from just the town in general?
Generally, just that everyone seems to be in a really great mood. And as the sun begins to set on our gentle Boomtown, a long shadow stretches from the mayor's 3-story manor all the way down to your feet as you begin approaching the front door.
That's
Give it a-
called foreshadowing.
Ha!
Ha, ha. Reach up and grab one of the big knockers. It's a lion head.
What magnificent knockers.
And as you say that, one of the mayor's secretaries opens the door, gasps, and slaps you.
Oh no! That was Kenny saying that, not Wayne, but okay. We'll play it.
No, that's
Sorry,
totally
madam.
Turns
fine.
to Wayne and goes, "That was highly inappropriate."
I'm talking about the knockers, not her breasts.
I mean, those are nice too, though.
You're not helping. Oh no! My young Frankenstein joke has backfired. Oh,
she says,
God.
right this way, and leads you all in.
Pissed.
You all are brought in past the little opening area that you had seen the mayor talking to Artibor Silverwood and into a really nice, very lavish dining room. It's got a long table, could probably seat about 10 or more individuals. At the head of it, the mayor in all of his finery, except he doesn't have his hat on indoors. But every other part of his perfectly maintained appearance is up to snuff. He stands up to greet you all.
Oh,
shakes
should
each one of your
I
hands.
take my hat off then?
Question,
Like,
DM.
you're indoors.
Wood Wayne. What's up?
Weapons are fine leaving on us, or do they have
No
to go
one
somewhere?
seems to check you.
I shoot the mayor in the face.
Nice. Roll it.
Thomas Derby is sent to Killbot.
Lost to nature.
This is my letter, DM. Blam!
Yeah. Return
Oh,
to
crap.
sender.
I forgot. Letter. Did I have a? I
Yeah,
did
you have
have
a letter for
Son
the
of a-
smith. It's
Yes,
okay.
thank you. Oh crap.
All good. The mayor says, well, it's nice of you to join us all.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Pleasure
Mayor.
to have it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And he shakes each one of your hands very firmly, very well.
He goes to shake Law's hand, and Law just sort of stares at it.
I don't believe we've met.
I am Law. Designation: locate, apprehend, and watch. Unit 000001. Sent from Thomas Derby and Derby Machina Company.
And he sees that. You say Derby Machina Company, and his eyes kind of narrow a bit, and he says, well, I am the mayor here in Boomtown. My name is Zogar Fireheart, and what does Mr. Derby have one of his representatives here for?
I hand him my letter for him, and as I do so, I state, I have been sent by Thomas Derby to help assist in the protection and growth of the city of Boomtown.
See. And you're an automaton, as in he takes his reading glasses out and he's looking.
Indeed. I require no food or water or sleep. It is my prime directive to protect this town.
Protected, yes. All right. Well, it is very nice to meet you, Law. And he grabs your hand and with both hands shakes it. He says, I'll be interested to see how your testing goes here. And he folds it up and tucks it away.
I have already helped apprehend a horse thief. I believe you are aware of the one. I was told that they were speaking to you. And then Law just sort of looks at Wayne and Shunsui to like...
Yes, Law
Yeah,
here
yeah.
was the one that actually were able to handcuff our suspect. So
His name was like Silverheart, the guy that got shot or whatever?
Silverwood, yeah.
Silverwood.
Oliver Silverwood, son of Artibor Silverwood.
Ah.
I
Yeah,
would say
Law-
Law has been a great access to the town so far. Have
Well,
not met many
I-
like him.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure you will provide an immense amount of value. Of course, Thomas Derby's creations are always quite useful. Now, please be seated, if you would.
Take a
I
seat.
try to sit near the mayor so I can kind of talk to him about not killing the guy we arrested.
For sure.
Here,
As you
Law,
all
take a seat
sit-
next to me.
Law does it.
So you all kind of sit on the mayor's
So
end.
this is a salad fork, Law.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Shunsui begins explaining all of the details, specifically of the Feywild mannerisms. So, like, some of the names of them, he's like, Shunsui, some of the utensils are missing here. Some of these utensils don't make a lot of sense.
The
It
spoon is
seems very
different.
odd.
I don't understand.
Law
what-
patiently waits for Shunsui to finish the entire explanation, and then Law just looks at Shunsui and goes, I do not eat food.
No, that's okay. It's still polite to know. It's called
I
being
cannot
fancy.
eat food. And Law
No,
just
that's
sort of opens his mouth, and you see that there's no esophagus. Like, there's nowhere for food to go. Like, if he
Just a
were to
lantern.
start, it's just that lantern. Like,
I like to think this is the whole time Sunsui and Law are.
Yeah,
just having
while
this
you
kind
are
of
going through this, Wayne, what would you like to say to the mayor?
Mayor, if I could pick your brain for a second about the horse theft that occurred the other day.
Of course.
So,
what would you like to say?
I know this gentleman, obviously shot and hurt an unarmed civilian and stole a horse. But he said something that kind of caught my ear a bit. He said something about his wife and child dying, and he had to get back home to. God, what do you have to get back to? 1 second. What was the name of that place? he said?
Exultia.
He had to get back to Exultia. I'm not sure what. I know you have the horse thief, another horse thief currently in there that's going to be put to work at some point. Is there any chance we can make him, pay the family for the man he shot and pay off his debt instead of, a hanging?
He looks at you. He takes a breath and he says, there are quite a few differences in these cases which make that difficult. For one, he shot and injured a young man. And not only any young man, Artibor Silverwood is the wealthiest rancher out here. And his son being shot is not something that he will take kindly to, and he is a powerful member of the town council. However, when people split off from the community, they must be well aware of the fact that exposure kills many.
I don't know. He seemed really upset that he shot at the kid. He didn't, he said he didn't mean to, but I wasn't there. I wasn't there. There are three different sides of this story: Oliver, the fellow who was with him, and then Jameson. I'm just going off from what he told me, and as someone who, I understand the family situation he's coming from, and I don't know. I felt for him, but like also I know what he did was wrong. Like, if he had just stolen the horse and not shot anybody, I get where that could, that could be a little more lenient. But like, he shot someone, and that's where the trouble's coming to. I was just trying to avoid a hanging, is all.
Well, I'm not a judge in this community. The circuit judge will be making his way here in a week or two. However, I'd say your best bet if you really want to get him off is going to be going to young Oliver and seeing if he'd be willing to show some of kind of his mercy.
All right, I'll check in on him then, maybe tomorrow. Have you heard anything about his situation? How he's doing?
From what I've heard, he is recovering. He's laid up, so it's hard to say, but should be recovering. Dr. Victoria does great work, and she said that it was clean through. Didn't seem to scrape the bone.
All right. Well, I'll go give Oliver a shout later on in these next couple days and see how he's feeling.
All right.
So remember,
I appreciate
Law,
the fact
pinky
that-
out.
Out.
Yeah.
Pinky SpongeBob. Pinky.
Law turns and goes, I do not drink either.
And as you say that, you are all served a nice bowl of potato soup with some leeks in it, as well as some Rancor red wine. Law, you are served. Food is put out in front of you by some of the people working here.
Law just
And,
sort of
you
looks
dig it
at it. And it's
No,
like,
this is good, Law. It's polite to not finish your food. It shows that it is delicious and fulfilled your need.
Yeah, but don't
So-
let that wine go to waste. I'll take it if you don't want it, Law.
And the mayor looks up and says, "No, I don't
slides
know."
his wine glass across the table.
The mayor starts to speak and watches you slide the glass across. Yes. Now, as I was saying, would you like more wine, Wayne? We can just leave the bottle out. In 1 second, he snaps the finger, and they just bring the whole bottle and set it next to you.
Wayne just like looks at me and he's like, thank you kindly, Mayor, and just fills up his glass again.
All right.
Oh shit, do I have to roll for this?
No. All right.
What?
Okay,
To
okay.
fill your glass?
No. For how drunk
It's hard sometimes.
we get.
Motherfucker.
I know
Can you perform basic function?
when Jacob is a DM, he usually has this roll to see how drunk we get. So I wasn't sure if we were doing
Yeah.
that.
I trust
yeah.
you to play a little tipsy.
Oh yeah.
I believe in your chops. So,
Unless Wayne's a bitch and gets drunk off of 2 glasses
Nah,
of
which-
wine.
Mama raised
Awesome.
Wayne right.
So, the mayor says, I don't know what you all have heard about these little meetings of mine, but I like to dine with each member of the community from time to time. I'd like to know a little bit more about you all, considering that you may be new deputies, from what I've heard. Wayne, you said that you felt a certain connection to this horse thief and his situation. Can you tell me a bit more about what that is?
Had some family problems recently, and I'm now by myself. Well, you see, Mayor, I don't want to burden you with this story. I just my family was taken from me, and I'm gonna take care of it. And I just feel for him. Different situation, but now he's by himself, and I know that lone wolf feeling, and you feel like the world's out to get you. You see evil in everybody, so it's everywhere, and it's hard to get past.
I see that you're a man intimately familiar with hardship and loss, and I'm sorry to hear that. But just let me know if there's anything that myself or this community can do to help you on the path to whatever it is you have to do to make it right.
There is one thing I could ask of you, but we can do that after dinner if you want.
Unless you have a problem saying it in front of your compatriots here. Huh?
No,
have no
I
issue with it.
got no problem with them knowing. I need to know about the mines, because I'm
About the
pretty
mines.
sure the fellow I'm looking for is down in there.
Oh, there's many different mining operations that used to exist here. There's the old silver mines, of course. Those are the closest to town, about 20 minutes ride north, deeper into the mountains behind the city here. Aside from that, I mean, there's an old mining operation out in Red Canyon. And then an even older one in Carrion Canyon.
How far are those away from here?
He thinks about it for a second, kind of looks up, takes a sip of his wine, says, I'd have to say Carrion Canyon used to have its own little community. That's about 3 days' ride away. The Red Canyon's fairly close, though. That's probably only a day.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. I'll, after I take care of stuff and check in on Oliver and other things, I'll mosey on out that way.
Absolutely. Now, you, and he looks over at Shunsui, he says, we've not really seen your kind around here. Please, I'm very interested. You seem to have a lot of rules of decorum and whatnot when it came to the eating. I'd love to hear about your homeland.
Of course. Well, I am from the Feywild, and I think I was traveled here, or probably because of one of those bloops that you talk about.
Oh, the shift?
Shifts, yes. I think that's what brought me to this land. But my land comes from rich culture that many rules and eloquence needs to be followed. So, I am a son of a well, I guess I would be a son of the type of mayor of our estate, our sanctuary. So, I was always told or taught to be more how to do the politeness and show elegance, but never really been my thing.
Well, I can't tell. It seems that you carry yourself very well. Do you say you're royalty?
I want to say royalty, but like I said, if you had a child similar track, they would be in. The city might see them as something, but other cities might not care as much.
Well, it's wonderful to make your acquaintance, and perhaps you could serve some sort of ambassadorial role if we ever have contact with Fey Kingdoms again.
Yes, I would happily do that.
Absolutely. All right. Second course comes out, steak, potatoes, and onions. He says, law, was it? I've got to be honest with you. I'm still quite confused as to what you are.
I am an automaton.
You see he's clearly waiting for more.
I am a function of gears and pressure valves and other classified information by the Derby Machina Company, created to protect the town of Boomtown.
Would you mind if I asked you a question just to kind of get a feel for your reasoning?
Of course.
Have you ever been on a train?
No.
Do you know what a train is?
Yes.
All right. Let's say that the train track diverges into two separate directions.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I freaking knew it! Ah, son of a bitch.
Now, if the train tracks are not switched, it will kill it will kill 3 individuals who have been tied up by some malefactor. However, if you were to pull the lever, you would then doom the 1 individual who is on the other side. If presented with this, what would your decision be? Let the 3 die or kill the 1 yourself?
You hear some like whirring and clicking in Law's frame. And then Law goes, "Where am I in this scenario?"
You're right outside of Boomtown here.
Law does some like mental math of like, you hear some further whirring and calculations. And Law goes, "I would flip the switch, and then I would run as swiftly as I can or ride my horse in order to remove the remaining person on the tracks.
And he,
At
he
the
kinda
very
smiles
least,
at that.
I would shove them off the tracks so that the train would hit me over the person."
Well, all right. Interesting. Let's mix it up a bit here. Let's say that one individual was a criminal, and that the 3 people who would be hit were... Actually, let me rephrase that. Let me say that the 3 that would be hit, one of them is a dangerous criminal, wanted for 3 murders, and on either side of him were a small child. However, the one that you might kill was a saint of sorts. Let's say Thomas Derby himself.
I maintain my status. I would flip the switch, save Thomas Derby, save the children, and then bring in the criminal for a trial, as he has already been, what's the word I'm looking for?
Apprehended.
He has already been restrained and apprehended.
Interesting. I like this line of reasoning.
Wayne looks to the mayor and says, any reason why you could think of why Mr. Derby would send Law out this way?
Mr. Derby is a fan of civilization and the settling of new lands, and he wishes to make sure that the people of this community are safe as they bring civilization to the... And you hear some whirring. Uncultured lands outside of Exultia.
Can you all give me an insight check to see how the mayor reacts to that?
Yeah, one sec.
Sure can, DM.
Fuck. If I'm proficient, do I roll again?
Oh, I forgot. Wait.
You get a
Insight.
plus
I got a 6 with
6.
my +2.
Oh,
2. Wayne, you've had a bit more to drink.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah.
I got a 7 with my +2.
Oh, Jesus.
So, the mayor watches and listens, and you can tell that he's listening intently, but his face does not give anything away about how he might feel about that statement.
Jacob, what did you get?
a 4.
We're doing
God,
great, guys.
rolling-
We're doing so
rolling
good today.
shite. Rolling shite.
And the dishes are taken away. The final course is sent out. The candied carrots and greens on a small dish. And he says, if y'all would like to join me, have you ever played a game of billiards before?
I played some billiards in my time. So I wonder if I'm going to smoke, should I go outside and do that, or am I good to?
Oh, come upstairs here. We'll go into my balcony, play a bit of pool, and spend some time together.
Excuse me,
And
man.
he picks up his dish and he says, feel free to bring your dessert with you. And he walks, y'all go up a flight of stairs and into the billiards room.
Wayne has stopped drinking at this point, by the way. He only did the 2.
I have a question for you, Mayor Fireheart.
Of course.
You mentioned that Mr. Derby's inventions are always welcome. What other things have you invented that you have seen?
Oh.
Law launches into a massive fucking list of Thomas Derby's or inventions that are credited to Thomas Derby. Just a massive fucking list.
Yeah. And among them include some of the most mundane things that you've heard of, lines of cookware. There's even certain nails he's got a patent on.
Non-stick pans.
Yeah, a line of nonstick pans, which really haven't taken off out here, but they're all the rage in the city. Indoor plumbing systems. Yeah, just a lot of stuff. And
Just
even... Oh, go ahead.
just all the shit, just all the random bullshit.
Yeah. And Law, you even mention that the Fenton Company is actually a subsidiary of Derby Machina Co. So the Fenton pistols, the Fenton scattergun, those are his patents.
Thank you, Law.
Yes, as your friend here said, many of his inventions are, you can't really live in the modern world without them, even this far out here.
And what is your relationship with Mr. Derby?
We actually, we spent some time together in our youth. We were old schoolmates.
Ah,
Ooh.
Law does that noise.
No, he does not.
Yeah. We are acquaintances. He was actually the one who suggested that I come out west, and well, to be honest, that's been one of the greatest things that I could have done for my career and for my life. I've quite enjoyed living in this town.
of course. I'm glad to hear. So, Billiards, you say. Now, how do we play?
Absolutely. And he goes over and he grabs. Actually, the wall is just lined with many different cues. He goes and he grabs one. He gives a very brief explanation of it. It works exactly the same way it does here. And he says, "Would you all like to play doubles?"
Yeah, I'll
Absolutely.
play some doubles. Wayne takes a cigarette out of his pocket, puts it in his mouth, strikes a match under his boot, and lights it up.
Well, I think the only fair way to do it would be me and Law versus you two. I'm
Sounds good to
guessing
me.
doubles is 200.
Yes.
Law turns to Shunsui and goes, "Is that fair? We do not know how to play."
Well, that's what makes it more fun, now isn't it, Law?
Wayne just kind of chuckles. He's like, Law, if you want me to play, I'll play a double with you next round.
It is fine.
On this floor, you all notice that the room you're in is very cozy. There are multiple lounge chairs covered in different animal skins, very fine pelts. The walls are covered in many small paintings, as well as a large painting depicting a scene from a story about a famous hero from folklore in the major kingdom of Exultia. The billiards table is very fine. It has all the bells and whistles and some nice engravings in it. And there's also, on one end, a fully stocked mahogany bar. As you all are getting everything set up, he walks over to the bar, pulls out a cigar box, and he pulls out many, and he says, "Would you all like to partake?"
Woo! Wayne looks down at the cigars, takes the cigar out of his mouth, puts it out in his boot, puts it in an ashtray, goes, never pass up on a cigar.
Absolutely. And he hands it over. He says, "This is a Luscar Lounge cigar, one of the finest. Comes directly from the capital city of Amar."
It smells amazing.
Absolutely. He lights his up.
Law, I wish you could smell, but
The first round of billiards takes about 10 minutes, and Shunsui's team is the one that comes out on top. After you all have played that first game, the mayor says, "Gentlemen, I would be interested to know what you all think your greatest strengths are, so that I might know where you might best serve this community. Law, I actually think it's quite obvious, but if you would tell me anything that may not be immediately seeable in your name as to what you can do."
Law sort of like is silent for a moment. You hear the whirring of like the gears, and then Law sort of looks up and goes, "I have been fashioned with a series of recipes and the ability to cook."
I'm sorry, you what now?
I
Very
have been
interesting.
uploaded with a series of recipes and cooking techniques.
Well, that's good to know, Law. We're going to be grilling some steaks.
That is
Or
good to know.
possums.
Or possum.
There may soon come a time when your cooking skills are required. I assume after this harvest is over, we'll be throwing some kind of festival. So that is good to know. Mr. Eastwood, What are your skills currently?
Well, before I came out here, I was a deputy back in where I was living with my family. Pretty good at searching, tracking. Uh, Not quite a bounty hunter, but you know, I'll do what needs to be done as well for the community. Lifting heavy things, just pulling my weight, and then some if I have to. I
Good
guess
to
you could
hear.
say the all-around team player.
All right. Always nice to have some able-bodied individuals here to help out. I'm sure they could use your help down at the mill project right now. It's getting pretty close to being done. Probably another week and we'll have it up.
I could lend a hand out there.
Be wonderful. Shunsui?
Okay, so DM, in
Yeah.
my walk around the town, do I see a building that is left alone or a occupation that people left alone, let them do the thing and not many people interact with?
The outhouse.
Yeah, the house. You notice that not a lot of people go into like Dr. Victoria's. Quick description of her place. She is on one of the foundations. It's a very large one. However, she is in a tent in the center, and around it, she has created kind of a magical garden that's very blooming and blossoming here. And if you stepped inside of the tent, you see that it's actually bigger on the inside, uh, kind of the size of larger than the foundation that it's on, but it feels very cramped because it's packed with equipment and just various weird odds and ends. So a lot
Awesome.
of people don't bother her unless it's an emergency. Aside from that, any building which is actually structurally stable enough to have people in it is being used. So you
Okay,
might have found a spot that's like, a couple of planks, half fallen over, but that's about it.
okay. So I'm gonna have to lie throughout my ass. Side note, Sunsui's intelligence is 8. So keep that in mind as I speak. Um, Research and long nights looking at books left me alone reading, and I can really assess and create something almost.
Oh, wonderful. You're sort of a researcher, archivist.
Yes, something that no
Well,
one really sees at all. I
Oh
just get set
no.
off and I get to do my
he
thing.
looks at you, he stops for a second, and he says, "You know, I think you would get along very well with the Count here. Count Reginald is one of our wealthier landowners living on the outskirts of town. He has an obsession with cartography, old maps, any of that sort of scholarly, very bookful, blockhead type of stuff. Uh, I will get you in contact with him. I believe you two will have quite a ball with you reading and whatnot.
Not many people visit him, do they?
Oh, no, very few.
Wow, it sounds lovely.
Reginald
Just
actually
for
chose to come out here just because he wanted to make maps of the area. He was not
oh,
ousted at all.
I appreciate that. I would love to get in contact with him. Just so you clarification, so you know, DM. Since we were trying to find someone he can nap.
The mayor invites you all out onto the balcony where you all can all sit in some very nice lounge chairs and smoke your stogies.
Hell yeah.
It's a very bright night, clear skies. You can see the clouds illuminated overhead. There are a ton of them, probably more than you've ever seen, Wayne, in your time living closer to civilization, not quite the city, but never this far out into the country.
Hmm.
Uh, and really just an absolutely beautiful and clear night sky. Shunsui, as we said last time, this doesn't exactly look like the night sky you're used to. It's much less colorful, but it is brilliant and clear nonetheless, with there being no clouds. The mayor takes a couple of puffs on his cigar, and he says, how long do you all plan to stay in our community?
Uh, Wayne takes a dragon cigar and then blows a smoke ring and turns to the mayor and says, honestly, after I finish what I came to do, maybe I'll look at setting up shop here, get myself a house or a place to stay, and maybe settle down permanently. Is what I'm thinking. I don't really have much place to go no more.
Hmm.
So if I live long enough after this little mission I have myself set out for. I'll gladly be a part of this town if you'll have me.
Well, uh, you've already performed an activity that has me in your debt. So you're of course welcome here. We can use all the people that we can find, especially men with some fighting experience. And it seems like a family man too. I hope that we can provide you with what you need to live a comfortable life.
Thank you, Mayor.
Absolutely. I tell you something, Wayne, and your friends as well. This has been an enlightening experience for me. I have few people in town that I can really confide in. Uh, I don't know if you know how we do things here, but most of the town's decisions are made by a small council of landowning individuals. That means that anyone who I might talk to, Reginald, Audubon, the Johns, even Dr. Victoria, well, they all have their own agendas, and friendly conversation can be difficult. If it wouldn't be too much to ask, I'd like to have these conversations with you all just to mull over what build projects or what decisions are being made in the town. Ultimately, I usually have the final vote as everyone's very spread out. And, well, I think that you all might give me some impartial counsel that I would appreciate.
I'd be honored to be part of your council for you. Anything you need help with, you know, I'm I have, thoughts about things that maybe not everyone else agrees on, but I always try to find, that the nice middle ground, like make sure everyone gets something that they can work with.
Absolutely. Well, and I feel like your group represents a very diverse group of individuals with very different perspectives than what we would normally get in this town. He looks over at you, Shunsui, and he says, "You in particular, I feel like your knowledge of of etiquette and your blue-blooded upbringing could provide me a good idea of what we may expect in the future should these shifts start to become more permanent. So, really, if we could have these dinners, this whole group here, even Kenneth, sorry that he couldn't make it today. I know he was having a tough time, a bit sick, but I think that you all would be the ones to talk to about where this town is going and what sort of build projects or laws we may be establishing in the future. So if I may call upon you again, I would appreciate it.
I will help out any way I can.
Absolutely. Out of character, DM here, I will present you all with probably about 3 or 4 options for the development projects that the town could do. I'll tell you kind of the effects that it might have on the town, and then ultimately you all can kind of vote together on which project you want done. You can relay that to the mayor and then just make an in-character argument for it, and that will usually be the deciding vote on what is made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So yeah, just a fun little in-narrative way how you all are influencing the development of this settlement. Aside from that, unless you all have anything else to say to the mayor, you all are sitting out on the balcony having a good time as the night starts to wind away.
Law's just awkwardly seated in a chair in a way that if it was anyone else, you would think like, oh, they're lounging, but he's just staring. Like it's just he's sitting in it the way that you are meant to sit in a chair, but it's just a robot staring into space. Like
He looks over at you and he says, "Law."
his head like rotates to look.
He pulls the letter out of his pocket and he says, "It seems that your creator is calling in a debt, so to speak. He would like you to serve in his place on the town council whenever we're making these decisions. Apparently, you are programmed with knowledge of what he would want in many cases. So he plans on eventually coming here. That's what this says, and he'll have a vote in some of the projects to come."
Excellent. I am honored to serve as a representative of Thomas Derby.
All right. Well, gentlemen, it has been a fine night with you all. I look forward to having one of these little chats again sometime soon. Again, if you have anything that I can do for you, just let me know.
Thank you, Mayor. And I shake his hand.
Thank you kindly.
Also, sorry, I do the Viking
Oh,
shake.
yeah.
I do the
Forearm.
the forearm.
I kiss him.
In character, he has to do it now.
Yeah. Maybe that's just how you all say goodbye.
With a lot of tongue.
Starry Night.
Stop! No!
The stars.
Banned.
The stars shine down on you all. The mayor takes another inhale of his cigar. Well, not an inhale. He just gets some smoke in his mouth, as you do with cigars. Clearly, I have smoked many
He
in
takes
my
a
life.
deep inhale and then promptly
A long
throws
drag. You know what? I bet that a half orc could
vomits
take a long
everywhere.
drag of a cigar.
Honestly, you could inhale it. You'll get sick, but you could.
Nah, he's got good constitution. He takes about a couple of puffs of it, blows it out. You all look up at the bright, shining night sky, and then something strange happens. It is the middle of the night. There's a full moon overhead.
Of course.
It appears that the sun begins to rise not on one of the horizons, but rather directly above you. So as if a horizon has been placed directly overhead, center of the night sky, the sun begins peeking out. This doesn't make any sense. It should be the middle of the night.
What in the hell?
As soon as that light begins pouring through, the shift happens. You all begin to feel kind of a subtle vibration in the air. The mayor kind of perks up for a second, looks around, and he says, I think we're about to experience a shift.
Do we
I grab
onto
onto Law.
something?
I grabbed the law.
Grab the law.
Wayne grabs onto one of the chairs, one of the lounge chairs.
Law just
Okay,
sort
Law.
of sits up.
The mayor immediately just starts shouting from the balcony out to the town, everyone, get inside, get onto one of the foundations.
Are there any people like running around below the mayor's house at all? Like, should I throw down a rope and pull someone up, kind of thing?
There's no one out and about. It is
Okay.
the middle of the night, more or less,
Okay.
probably around midnight. Seems like most everyone. There are a couple of campfires that were going on, but those people do seem to hear and kind of hop up on one of the foundations. The sun continues to rise in the middle of the sky, and it begins beating down on you all as if it were midday. It's about half of the sun fully peeking out now in only a few seconds. And then as you look up, you see the sun is fully there. It is red, and the heat begins it becomes oppressive. Could everyone make a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
20 quid.
17.
14.
Our best rolls tonight.
Thank
All right.
God.
You
Law.
all save,
You have progress
so you're going to all take 4 fire damage.
Woo!
Fire damage. Hot damn.
With the success. Right. And at that, it now appears to be in the middle of an absolutely sweltering day. Looking around you, the air kind of warbles with the heat. You hear the shouts and the whines of some of the livestock that are outside of town. And people are everywhere opening their doors, coming out in their nightgowns and clothes, and they're kind of looking around like what's going on. The mayor says, everybody, come gather here at the manor house. We need to, preempt whatever's coming here.
Mayor, should we get the livestock somewhere? Is there a shady area we can put them, like a barn or something?
Best we've got is just these buildings here. There's one foundation that's about half standing that might work. We might have to bring them inside to some of the saloons and whatnot, though.
Well, let's go get them.
All right, you all could go out and do that. I'm gonna gather a team to, I don't know it yet.
How high up are we?
You're on the 2nd floor.
Could Wayne just kind of jump out and just start running to go get the cattle, rustle them up, or is that really going to take fall damage for that?
Give me an acrobatics check.
All right. What's my acrobatics?
Shunsui
Or
looks like he's gonna
athletics.
jump over, and he's like, "Ah," and I'm gonna take
4.
especially after he sees that.
Go ahead and take 3 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
Yeah, Law's taking the stairs.
Yeah, that's fair. So you all head out, and you see that.
As we catch up to Wayne, Law goes, "That looked like it hurt, Wayne. Are you all right?"
Yeah. No, I'll be okay. Let's go get the cattle.
All right. So you all know from earlier conversation that Silverwood is the one who most the cattle. He's a wealthy rancher here. His manor was out down by the Oak Ridge, so you all can whistle for some horses and start heading out that way.
Whistle for a horse. I can't whistle,
Gotcha.
so.
I can't
That's
either.
fair.
It's the horses we borrowed again?
Yeah, I'd say so. Go ahead and give me an animal handling to call those bad boys.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch, I'm in with a 15.
That's going to be a 12 for Wayne.
Gotcha. Wayne and Shunsui, the horses come without issue.
Sweet.
Law, you don't really know how
Whistle.
to call a horse. Yeah, he literally can't whistle.
It's just an air horn.
Yeah, just like clap, let out a high pitched squeal, nothing. But the other guys' rolls were good enough that we'll say that one of them calls over the stockier horse that you can hop onto. You all make your way out to the Oak Ridge Manor. It's very nice, lots of whites and silvers on it, and you see that Artibor is already up on a horse trying to get his cattle together. They're kind of running in all directions, and he's just slowly wrangling them up. He sees you all come and he says, make yourselves useful. Start pulling in some of these stragglers.
Can do, Mr. Silverwood. And Wayne goes off to start pulling cattle in.
We go do the thing.
All right, make some skills checks. I don't know what. Come up with something.
I'm going to
God
do
damn it.
animal handling.
Yeah. Do
Actually,
animal
wait,
handling.
no. I'm going to do athletics.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to do athletics and kind of, just throw my lasso wherever I can, just kind of tug them towards safety. So that's going to be a 18, baby.
You get one of the bigger looking bulls around the horns, and you're able to pull it back towards the herd.
Come on, fella.
Shunsui is gonna talk to him nice and calmly to have him not feel stress and lead him back nice and calm. It's gonna be a 12.
12. You're able to get 2 of them to head back towards the main mass where Artibor is going around. And some of his dogs are also kind of nipping at the heels of him, keeping them in a group in the center. It's still very hot. Law?
I'm gonna try for
Handcuffing
acrobatics to just sort of ride swiftly and just sort of keep
Like
making
Herman.
movements in order to get the cows away,
Sounds good.
lithely sort of, weaving in and out between obstacles. Acrobatics. 9.
9. It starts pretty good, but this horse is clearly not as agile as you would like it to be. So you do get probably one of them to head back in. However, the other 2 that you were trying to grab kind of just keep on going out on their own. You see that those 2 are running straight into town.
How many are left, DM?
That's about all of them. Artibor and his son have gotten kind of the other ones in a group, and some of the dogs are going around. He's got about 20 heads of cattle here.
Does Law see them go into town, or does everyone see them going to town?
Everyone sees them running back towards town.
I'm going to try animal handling, try to get them back this way.
Mm-hmm.
That's another 18.
Another 18. Nice. You run out ahead of the group, and you are able to go. You lasso one, kind of pull it in such a way that it kind of bumps into the other one. The other one slows down, is a bit confused, and you're able to wrangle them both back in. At this point, you see that Artibor and his son have started pushing the cattle towards town. Not like they're going into it, but kind of in that way. You rejoin. And Artibor says, I think we should probably take them to the river.
All right, sounds good.
And you all make your way to the river. As you pass by town, not taking them down Main Street, but over through the side, you see that two major things affect your senses right off the bat. Smell of smoke and fire. One of the buildings in town, the John's Workshop, currently has a small fire starting on it. You see a lot of smoke coming off, but not many flames yet. And the crop fields across the river, at one of the corners, a fire has started in some of the unharvested areas.
Oh, damn.
Okay, let's split up. Law, Wayne, you guys take care of the building. I'll help the farmers with the crops.
Mr. Silverwood, are you all right to take the cattle from here?
This should be fine. Go, help them.
All right. Let's go, Law.
So you all get to Main Street, where the John's Workshop is currently smoking pretty bad. Both of the Johns are stood out in front of it. They're calling to the mayor, who's still up at the balcony. They're like, we need to get some water on this right now. And they grab the buckets that they have and start running towards the river to get some water and throw it on.
What kind of spells do I have? Will any of my spells help? Nope, they sure won't. Damn it. Damn it. Yeah, none of that works. Shoot. Is there another bucket nearby that Wayne can grab and... Wait, no. Wayne looks at Law and goes, you got buckets of water you can kind of pour out into yourself, like a mechanism that shoots water into buckets. You can toss them on.
Law just sort of looks at Wayne and goes, "No."
That should be a thing. They should have like hose or a rope of water. That should be a thing that exists.
I am designed to apprehend criminals, not stop fires.
Catch
All
the
right,
fire.
fair enough. Is there a bucket nearby, DM?
Yeah, you can find a bucket pretty quick.
Are there 2 buckets?
Yeah.
Are there 3 buckets?
Tell you what, go ahead and give me an investigation or perception check for that.
Okay. That's going to be 19.
19? How many buckets you trying to get?
Trying to get 5. 1 for Law, 4 for me.
So as you begin to look, you see that some of the other townsfolk have begun bringing buckets from home. And yeah, you're able to get about 5 free buckets as everyone's kind of piling them up.
I pass Law a bucket. I'm like, I'm not sure how you do in water, but follow me. Let's go. And I just start sprinting to the river.
Why do I only have 1 bucket? This seems inefficient. I have 2 arms.
No.
Does Wayne hear that? Does Wayne hear that or no?
Yeah.
I toss you a second bucket, so I just have 3.
All right. Give me athletics checks, guys.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
A critical fail.
Oh, no.
Wayne, in the time it takes for Law to get to the river, you've actually gone there and back twice. When you get back the second time, you see that Law is actually incapable of getting too close to the water. You see him caught in this loop where he reaches down to fill the bucket, stops, pulls back, reaches down to put the bucket in, stops, pulls back.
Law, you all right, buddy?
I don't know.
I take the buckets from Law and I fill them up and then hand them to him.
All right, and yeah,
Law dumps them out into the river. Filling them up again.
Law, what are you doing?
At this point, you see that multiple people have begun lining up, and the mayor says, "Start passing, fill and pass the bucket down."
So we start filling them up, pass them down.
Yeah. So people start handing them on over. They get the water and they start throwing it up. You actually see that one of the Johns, John Smith, the town Smith, is also a half-orc. He has a thick red mutton chops and a bald head. He's short and he seems pretty quiet, but he's right there with you all, being one of the people that's scooping. You see that the people actually throwing the water onto the fire, that's where John Carpenter, the town's carpenter, is. He's a half-elf. He has a goatee and flowing black hair. And he seems to be pretty loud. And he's kind of shouting at everyone to hurry it on up. Keep throwing this water on. He's not going to lose this goddamn building.
Have I met the Smith before or no?
I don't think so. But he's right here scooping up water right now.
Can Law make either an investigation or a perception check to target parts of the building more effectively with how he throws water? Like moves himself down to the end of the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds great. I love that. Absolutely. I could see investigation would make the most sense, but I could see perception being used as well. It's up to you.
They're both great. Just perception is going to have advantage, but my investigation is +6. So whatever you want, DM.
Let's investigate then.
All right, let's see what we do. All right, 19.
19. You can immediately identify the best place to start throwing it. You actually notice that it's not necessarily where the smoke is coming out, and you relay that to people like, the smoke is just coming out wherever it can escape the building. The fire's probably actually over here. And you all actually make pretty quick work of it now that you've got this train of people going and you've identified the proper spot. So that fire has been put out.
I turn to Smith and I go, "Is this one of your buildings? You were out. I saw you out front right away."
Yes, this is me and my brother-in-law. Both own this building.
Gotcha. Wayne Eastwood.
Is this the perfect time to do this?
John Smith, and he's got just like the most muscular forearms you've ever seen.
You said John Smith?
Wayne, the field is still on fire. We need to put out that fire
No,
as well.
Shunsui's doing that, right? No, I go, right, sorry. And I start running towards the field.
Yeah. The train of people with the buckets actually shifts over as the mayor is like, everyone to the crop fields. Everyone to the crop fields. And Shunsui, you were the first one to make it over while they're trying to put this fire out. What do? You see that a couple of farmers, probably about 7 of them, are here. And a lot of them have actually run ahead of where the fire is and started to try to cut away some stuff to contain it a bit.
I'm gonna help with that. So I have 2 plans. So I'm gonna help with that. So I'm gonna ride on my horse, unsheath my sword on my katana, and slice quickly as I ride by.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a straight dexterity check on that.
Can it be acrobatics?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing it off a horse. I could see that.
21.
21. Awesome. So yeah, you're making pretty fast work of it. Just shoo, shoo, shoo. Which sword are you using for that?
My katana.
Gotcha. So yeah, you begin chopping away at it. You see that the fire looks like it should be fairly well contained at this point. However, I don't know, it's still a dicey situation because who knows where it could pop up elsewhere in the field.
My second thought, after I'm done slicing, is to command the farmers to start digging and throwing soil onto the fire to extinguish that way.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead and give me let's say a persuasion check on. I guess just a straight charisma. It's more about getting their attention.
Mm-hmm. Nat 20. Woo!
Very nice.
So I like to think they see me on the horse with the katana raised in the hand, and I kind of look like a general up there leading this poor farm hands.
Absolutely. You make a striking image with your katana raised high, your pink kimono on top of your horse. You rear up and you tell them to begin throwing dirt on the fire. They listen, they start chucking the dirt. At this point, after you finish kind of cutting it and everyone is shifting towards that, the train of buckets has made its way over. People have begun throwing water into the area as well. And with the combination of water and dirt, that fire is extinguished. However, to avoid another fire, the train just slowly begins making its way through the field, throwing more buckets of water. It'll take quite a while, but should be able to make do with that.
Nice.
So as you all stick with the train of buckets, or what's it, fireman's train? You call it fireman brigade?
Yeah.
Water bucket trade.
Yeah.
Watergate.
Can
Stop.
you all give me a Constitution saving throw to keep up this very difficult work?
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Very physically demanding.
Oh, that's 6.
That's a 19 for Wayne.
Also a 19 for Law.
Nice.
I rolled a 3.
Shunsui, what'd you get?
I got a 6.
6.
Oh.
You're actually going to gain a level of exhaustion here.
I figured.
Woo!
Yep. But Law and Wayne, you all are doing great. You're really getting into the rhythm of it, kind of getting out of your mind and just doing the work that needs to be done. Are either one of you still scooping water, or are you all now throwing it onto the fields?
I'm going to say...
Law was a
Wayne's probably
thrower.
Scooping.
Thrower? Gotcha. Wayne, can you give me a perception check?
Yeah. Let me see my...
The river's drying up.
Oh, no. It's 11. Or,
11?
sorry, 12. I can't count today. I'm sorry.
All good. Well, in the words of Nathan just now, the river's drying up.
Drying up.
You notice that the water is starting to get muddier and muddier, and that it's actually taking you... You were standing with kind of ankle deep in the water.
Yeah.
However, at this point, it's actually... You realize you're standing on bone-dry ground and that the water is receding. The river seems to be slowing down and getting smaller and muddier.
I yell at everyone to stop grabbing water, and I yell for the mayor. Everyone stop grabbing water! Mayor Fireheart! Where are you?
Yeah, Mayor runs right over. What's going on?
I just kind of look down.
Looks down. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, no.
And he calls out, Samson, we're going to need some barrels.
I'm sorry, I just missed what happened. What's going on?
The river's drying up.
I heard that part, and then I didn't know why we were getting bail.
Yeah, the mayor is calling for some barrels, and he says, we're going to need, I guess, to collect some water. He seems to be completely at a loss.
I look to the mayor and I go, those magic users know any water spells? Is that a thing?
I guess we'd have to talk to him. I don't know myself.
Law steps over and goes, do we know the source of this river? The spring from which it comes from?
I believe it comes from fairly high up in the mountain range at any points. And the mountains are mostly hills by the time they get behind the mayor's home, but the river clearly snakes up around the town and then higher up into the mountain range.
Perhaps we could investigate the spring and see if there is something we can do to encourage the flow of water.
I like
I
that
agree.
idea, Law.
It's a good plan as any. While you all are gone, we'll continue to collect water until this thing dries up, I suppose.
Here, Wayne, go get Kenneth and we'll a horse, and then we'll make our way.
I run off to grab Kenneth and call for the horses.
All right. And I think that's a good spot to leave it for today.